You know how when life gets the best of you and shifts your priorities and you finally get back into your shop, it has somehow turned into a literal hellscape? And now that I have found time to come back out here, the mess is killing any momentum that I had, which is something that Adam Savage talks about in his book, Every Tool is a Hammer. Adam talks about how it's a really good idea to keep your shop clean, put your tools away, and null everything at the end of the day. Not only does that help not stop your momentum when you come back into the shop, but it also means that when you do come out to build a project, you're ready as soon as you get out here. So today I'm gonna tell you 7 tips to get your shop clean and organized and efficient without buying a single additional thing. Starting with number 1, caffeine. It's a big job and you're really gonna need it. Number 2, collect everything in one place. Don't worry about putting it away yet. We're gonna do that in a little bit, but capture everything all at one time. It is helpful to have a big work surface that you can actually put everything on. So if you need to, shove some things aside on that, maybe move a couple of big things around and then put everything on it. We'll deal with it all in a little bit. I've managed to collect all the crap that was taking up space in my shop, but before I move on to organizing it, it's time for tip number 3, which is to go ahead and purge all the shelves and drawers and nooks and crannies in your shop before you start putting stuff back into them. The point of this purge is not to take everything out of every location and put it all in one place, but rather to make sure that everything you do already have in drawers or shelves or anywhere else is where you want to keep it. Don't try to organize it right now. Just get anything that you don't want here out and we'll deal with it all later. 2 areas that you don't have to purge yet are finishes and material. That's going to be a little bit easier to do at a later step. The purge was super successful. I found a bunch of crap that I had just stuffed into anywhere I could find it that I had honestly forgotten about underneath my miter saw and this workbench underneath my tool wall. Now all of that is in this giant pile right behind me, but I'm all out of caffeine and it's late, so this is gonna have to be picked up tomorrow. It's day 2 and I've got more caffeine, so we're ready for tip number 4. While all of this is out, we're gonna clean. A lot of these places, especially under and behind my workbenches, probably hasn't been swept or vacuumed in months or years. So we're gonna do that now. All right, we've caffeinated, collected, purged, and swept up, so it's time to tackle this huge pile of crap behind me. And that's where tip number 5 comes into play. Group things together before you put them away. It's gonna be much easier to be in one single headspace for a type of thing like tools or material. It's gonna be a lot easier to be in one headspace for tools and put all of your tools away rather than kind of jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing. And I think that's gonna be a lot more efficient. Now it's time for step number 6, where we take all the stuff that's in these groupings and we actually put it away. If there's not really a good dedicated place for something, we may make something temporary or put it somewhere temporary, but make a note to make something permanent later. We're almost done cleaning up, and the last things I've got are these odds and ends on my mobile workbench, and the best place to put all that is going to be underneath my stationary workbench back here in all this dead space. Since I don't want to buy anything else, I'm going to reuse a crate and an old tool case that I have before, but that leaves a lot of room up top, so I'm going to build a shelf out of scraps that these can slide under. finished putting everything away and the shop is looking better than it has in months, which is great, but it's not gonna be perfect and it's probably never gonna get there, which leads me into step 7, keep a list of things going that you want to improve while you're cleaning up the shop. Now, what's really easy to do is to make a list of every single thing you want to do or make or improve in your shop, which is the rabbit hole I went down. We need to make sure that we keep a list of just the things that we really need to improve in the shop, and that'll be a lot shorter. For example, on my big list, I wrote build an outfeed table with additional storage. But here's the thing, I have an outfeed table. It's not the best, it's not the prettiest, and it has a ton of wasted space under here that I'm gonna have to address at some point as well. So I don't need a new outfeed table, I just really want one. So that isn't gonna make the final list. However, that is. This fridge is preventing some wider panels from being able to be put through my table saw and has maybe had to rethink how to do some projects. So this needs to move and I'm probably gonna put it over here. That is something that actually does make the need list because it will improve the efficiency and effectiveness of my shop. I just underlined the items that I need to build in order to improve my shop or to create things I don't already have. And that made the list less than half as long, which is a lot more achievable, but we can do even better. An idea came to me from reading Atomic Habits and How to Keep House Without Drowning was to take this list of projects that I need to do in my shop and put them into a 3x3 grid that has low, medium, and high impact on one side, and on the other axis it has low, medium, and high effort. If I only have a little bit of time, I'm not really feeling high energy, but I want to be productive, I can look at the low effort, high impact items on the list and just knock something out for a quick win. The nice thing is this will work on paper for a quick list like I have here, or if you like to be a little bit more digital, you can also use a free app called Notion to put all this together so you can see it on any of your devices. This isn't sponsored by Notion by any means, and it is a free app that I've used recently that has really helped me kind of keep track of all my thoughts. If you're interested, I actually have a free Notion template available on my website that has all this layout already done for you. And finally, tip number 8, now that your shop is looking really good, do everything you can to keep it that way. The key is functionality. Now, something that's really helped me is to have things quickly available to me that I use frequently, whether that's a French cleat wall or something like these hanging wall control panels. I can grab my tools, use them, and then ideally quickly and easily put them back, and I can see what's missing so I can find it and put it back. If you're into shop organization, then I think you're gonna like that video, and I've got pulled up for you right over there, so I'll see you in that video.